Hello guys, welcome to another position of the week. I'm here with the Grandmaster Jacob Aagaard. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Average?
No one cares.
No one cares. So I brought this position, it's a little positional exercise that we use for our students in the academy, teach them uh, how about play positional play,
Okay.
to get better at positional play. And it's a little position for you, not too complicated, black to move.
And we should say the academy is stillchesstraining.com, and everyone is very welcome to join, and everyone would benefit from joining. And I'm already thinking. So Renier and myself, we very much use this system of 3 questions. I think Yulen also uses it. Sam for sure. Sam maybe doesn't mention it so much, but he has it tightly internalized. So I start sort of with what I normally have the third question. I see that this is my opponent's intention. This is definitely his worst place piece. This is definitely my worst place piece. I see there's a weakness here. I actually think for me, this is sort of a weak square. Okay, so this is sort of the first things I look for and look at in a position. The central thing in this position for me is no doubt the possibility of an exchange of pieces. So I could very well imagine that there's a scenario where a knight on c5 against the bishop on c1 is preferable for black. But if I play knight e4, I might have to consider the consequences of f3, and this could be very complicated and maybe not at all to black's favor. And you know, for me, I just always see tactics very quickly, like knight e4, f3, queen g5, f4, rook a d1, queen e1, bishop e3, and then if black's white friend enough to take an e3, and queen e3, queen b3. But unfortunately, I think king f4, king h1, which is one of the 2 problems with what I'm saying. The other is that it just feels like entirely nonsense. That's probably the predominant problem. A very automatic move here for black could be bishop d6, with the idea that the bishop is well placed on d6, and for white it's not so easy to develop the pieces. If black could play bishop to b6 and a5, and sort of white would have difficulty getting the pieces, that'd be nice. But on bishop b6, white will definitely play a4 to a5, which would leave this pawn to be a weakness. So that would be quite unfortunate. I was also thinking of something like rook c8. But again, my thinking was a little bit some exchanges in a5, and white is probably okay. My feeling is here black would like to look for something that makes his position preferable. So if we can play bishop d6 and white doesn't have an easy way of getting the pieces out, that's very attractive. Probably I would consider the move I've been most annoyed with maybe being bishop f3. So bishop d6, bishop f3, knight e4, knight d2. But maybe I have a queen h4, g3, knight takes g3, some sort of brilliant mating attack. There's another variation I saw, which was bishop b6, f3, and maybe it feels very flimsy. Maybe there was knight g4, but I think after knight g4, f takes g4, queen h4, white maybe has a strange rook f4, or maybe the simpler queen d6.
Well,
so there's a lot of considerations like that. What it is with these kind of positions, which makes them very difficult to teach, is there's so many options, and you want to try to avoid just calculating forcing lines as I'm doing. You want to try cut it down to the simple things. So it is. By the way, there's this thing with chess that if you know what you're doing, if you know what you want to do in a position, it's usually very easy. But if you have no idea what you're doing, it's brutally hard game. Yeah?
Absolutely.
I think we might be suffering a little bit from this in this case, with Renier maybe thinking it was a little bit easier than it really is for black.
No, I'm
But I think I have found out what I want to play.
What do you want to play?
I think I want to play bishop d6 from positional grounds.
And that's it. That's
So the thing is, I have these two things that I'm wondering about, and now here you don't say anything, because so the first thing I was thinking was if f3, then this move here is actually the move, because now f3 weakens the dark squares. If white plays f4, then weakens the e4 square, and black will have control over it. Rook d8, queen will be uncomfortable, and pieces still not getting out easily. And if h3, then you know, it's time for knight h5 and knight g3, maybe with a check and some combination. But even without just knight g3, how do you get the knight out of there?
Yeah.
So this is sort of not my concern here. I'm thinking the queen is lacking space and really needs a square, and the square has to be e2. And for this reason, I think bishop f3 is the natural move. And here, my thinking was knight e4. And it's again based on this fact that, like, for example, if we have something like this, white is ready to play e4 and come out with a bishop. I can't really prevent it. And I can't exploit the fact that this knight is a bit loose, and e4 will even defend it. So here, like, I'm not playing rook b8 or something like this. This is a knight d5, e4, again, white is happy. So this is the only move that sort of makes sense to me. And here, if white doesn't do something, then I have time for queen c7, rook d8. I get all these tempos. So for me, this was a challenging move. And what I was thinking was queen h4 is an option here, very serious option. But another option I also saw was has to be calculated. And I admit that I wasn't fully in control. Was, for example, what happens here and here. Okay, now I can see that the queen is hanging. The other thing I saw was in this position here, that if take, okay, pawn takes, I'm not afraid of. I get tempos like queen g5 check and rook in, or rook queen h4 actually.
Yeah.
F4 and rook to d8, and it's a little comfortable. And here I can always take a pawn because, yeah, it's quite nice to be a pawn up, and b2 is hanging and stuff. So here I was sort of feeling there were options here that were unpleasant, but also I didn't calculate this to the end. If h3, then this is the general idea. There's no time to take on e4. Like here, we can give a check immediately, or we can do like the cats do and toy with the food.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah. So here, this should be the only move, and this would be during game. I would try to calculate what the consequences are, but it sort of feels like white is hanging on. So probably the much more natural combination would here. Okay, so Renier, I saw that bishop d6 is the right move.
Yes.
Because outside of your view of the screen, I can see the notation in training mode, so it's only giving me the comment on the move just played. So what do you want to say about the position that I got wrong and misunderstood?
What position you got wrong?
What did I get wrong here? What did I misunderstand?
Nothing. You found the right move.
Okay, but maybe some details I didn't understand.
No, it's only, you have these options like square a5, because in the game I played bishop e7, And then I realized that black was a little better, but white gets this bad piece on b3 that could go to a5 after trading queen on d8.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to take on d8 with the bishop, then the knight could make it to c5.
Uh-huh.
So I found that this also taking on d1 is not fully
Oh,
acceptable.
why bring out the rook?
Bring out the rook, and I thought this move was cute. You just don't trade pieces, and your pieces are much better. And for example, there were some options like if white tries to develop normally, it doesn't really matter. You can also try things like queen b8 or queen c7, and then
I was actually here. I saw this move, which I thought was a little annoying.
so much space advantages.
Yeah, I'm about to get my queen trapped. It's my plan. But yeah, no, here you have a like I generally I think I would want the rooks, both rooks out. But yeah, you something like try to maybe provoke a weakness and then ask a little bit about how pieces are placed here. Maybe you don't want to allow rook c1 and go queen b8. These are the kind of decisions you make on the next move. Also this is a very very natural move.
I think black
Simply just have two bishops, and now here in this situation we're actually threatening this this thing to be real. Like let's say white plays rook c1, which could be a reasonably lucky move, but now g3 we actually do sacrifice, and there's no queen e2. And if h3, then knight c5 and threatening to take, and maybe not so pleasant.
Yeah,
that's like here or something like this. Maybe time to go and have a beer.
Analyze the game.
Yeah, analyze the game. Okay, so this was I didn't find this easy. I was very happy I found the right move. Very happy that you once again hitchhiked from Spain to Glasgow to make this video, and I'm very grateful for you guys that you watched it. And if you're considering if killerchesstraining.com is something for you, I think it is. You want to get better with at chess and you want to spend time with nice people, this is where it's at. Yeah,
absolutely.
Take care, guys.